And welcome to Mason High School. I'm Bryant billing alongside the coach, Casey Matteson. We are here for a Top Billing Sports Network video extra on topbillingsports.com. Casey, thank you for joining me as always. It's been a day full of softball and baseball here at Mason High School. Earlier in the day, we were at the softball field right behind us here in this video. We're at the baseball field today where we just saw Shawnee beat New Richmond by a score of 3-2. It was quite the win for Shawnee, Casey.
Definitely was. You know, Shawnee with the season the way they're going, kind of up and down. They really got hot here at the end, and that's right at the right time.
Oh yeah,
and
it absolutely is.
Shawnee really they stepped in there against this top seed here from New Richmond, from the Cincinnati area, and they did a nice job as they were able to scratch out a run in the 7th and then take the lead in the 8th.
Yeah, it was. They were down 2-1 going into the 7th inning, got a run in the 7th, tied it, forced extra innings, and then J.D. Davis hit a shot out to left center field, and that scored a run. The runner was on second base at that point, and Shawnee was able to get the victory there. A great hit for Davis in a clutch situation for the Braves.
And Andrew Young scored the game-winning run.
Yes, he did.
And unfortunately, when it was 1-1, it was back in the 4th or 5th inning, and Shawnee gave up a run on no hits.
Yeah.
It was a walk and then a throwing error on a double play ball that went into went into right field, and then a hit batsman loaded it up, and then a sacrifice fly. So in baseball, it's really frustrating because sometimes the better team doesn't always win. Sometimes the other team doesn't beat you. Sometimes you beat yourself, and luckily Shawnee was able to overcome that one run.
Good win for head coach Andy DeWitt and the Braves. We were talking, Casey, the men's programs at Shawnee have had a lot of success this year. You look at the football team that made it out to the regional semifinals, lost to Athens. Basketball team made it to the districts before losing to Dunbar. And they're able to break over that hump here today as far as district-wise. Some of these guys have played both football and basketball, or one or the other. We know Andrew Tencher among them today. Of course, Tyler Bostic, football quarterback. He had a couple of key hits today for the Braves. So a lot of these athletes have been able to get some success this year and make long tournament runs.
Andrew Young, starting guard on the basketball team.
Absolutely.
And the starting right fielder here, and scored the winning run for his team.
Absolutely, that worked. Moving to softball, which we saw earlier in the day, it was a big 4-2 victory for the Kenton Ridge Cougars, who go out to their first regionals in a long time. It was the first district appearance for Kenton Ridge in 5 years, and in case things weren't looking good for them early, it was their opponent. And you got to help me out because Western Brown, Mount Orb Western Brown. They got a home run early in the game, took a 1-0 lead on a solo shot, and Kenton Ridge came back with some power. Really came back when it was big in the 7th inning. The game was tied 1-1 at that point. Paige McCrary, a senior for the Cougars, hit a home run earlier in the game to tie it at 1-1. Then she led off with a home run there that went off of the left field foul post in the 7th inning. Kenton Ridge added 2 more runs in that inning, and Western Brown did get a run there in the bottom of the 7th, but it wasn't enough as Kenton Ridge got the victory. And it was an exciting game, Casey. Quick game too.
Yeah, it was, and that's a game you can listen to and
on our archive page. Yes,
on the Top Billing Sports Network. And one thing that was interesting too is the only 2 runs that were scored were by both catchers. Western Brown's catcher hit the solo home run for them. Paige McCrary hit the solo home run for Kenton Ridge, and Kenton Ridge was no hit all the way through 3 innings, and then they started coming on board and really starting to be aggressive with the hit. And also Western Brown had a shortstop and third baseman that were as good as anybody has around.
A lot of players for Kenton Ridge have made contributions throughout the year, and they had one from Haley Dillon, a girl who hasn't been hitting with the top likes of some of Kenton Ridge's other players, but she had a clutch hit late in the game that drove home a couple runs for the Cougars as well.
Yeah, and can't say enough about Courtney Lopez,
the pitcher,
or
sophomore
Colo.
Pitcher. Yes.
She did a nice job keeping them off balance, and she was hitting the outside corner quite a bit. And the Western Brown pitcher, she was hitting the inside corner, jamming the hitters early on, and Courtney Lopez worked the outside corner very well.
Yes, she did. So it's 2 Clark County teams that advanced on to the regional. Shawnee baseball, who's still celebrating as we record this video, and then Kenton Ridge softball. 2 good years for both of those teams. And we mentioned Shawnee, some of their boys teams making long runs. Paige McCrary had something interesting to say in our post-game interview, which you can also listen to on the website right now. She had been a good basketball player for Kenton Ridge for several years, and Kenton Ridge had made it through districts all 4 years she played. She lost all 4 years, so she had to wait a long time to her senior season of softball. Kenton Ridge graduating, I believe, here within the next week and a half or so, and she finally breaks it.
Well, and Paige McCrary now with 6 home runs on the season,
yes.
50 RBI, and you said you saw her last.
I didn't see her.
Well, you saw that last Saturday. She had 2 home runs
yes.
in that game
against Southeastern.
And this Saturday she hits 2 home runs when it counts the most in the district finals.
It absolutely does. So best of luck to Shawnee and Kenton Ridge in the regional finals. Shawnee goes on to play this upcoming Thursday at 5 o'clock at UD's Time Warner Field in Dayton. They take on Jonathan Alder, a team they're a little bit familiar with, some of the athletes from other sports. Those 2 squads met in the football playoffs a year ago, so could be a few players that know each other from the football side of things. Kenton Ridge goes on to play in the regional semifinals this Thursday. They will play right back here at Mason again, and they will take on, if memory serves me right, Casey, I'm losing it here real quick who they play. Man, I had it.
Yeah,
Hamilton
sure.
Ross. Hamilton Ross.
Hamilton Ross.
Hamilton Ross. And that Hamilton Ross team beat Kenton Ridge 5-0 5 years ago in the district finals here at Mason the last time Kenton Ridge, softball-wise, made it here to Mason. So, sure, Coach Ivory, she's the only one that remembers. Obviously, none of the players were there, but I'm sure she'd be aching to get a win over that as she was an assistant coach at that point. One more thing to mention, Casey, as you know, Springfield High School hired a new athletic director here recently, Mike Delapina. We saw Greg Newland earlier today and talked with him a bit. He is planning on coming back as an assistant athletic director for Springfield High next year, so they'll move over as Mark Stoll is retiring at the end of this year, and he'll be a good pick. He's coming up from Hamilton. He is a Springfield guy all the way around. Graduated from South High School, graduated from Wittenberg University. Parents well known in the community. They were both educators for years in the Springfield City School District. So what do you think of that hire?
I think it's a great opportunity for Springfield and Delapino as well, as he gets to come home and
yes.
bring a lot of his experience. Hamilton, one of the most successful areas in sports in recent years. And so he gets to bring a lot of that experience back to Springfield.
Stay tuned here on Top Billing Sports. We will be doing maybe doing a couple regional games depending on how far out Shawnee and Kenton Ridge make it. May do one of the team's regional finals this upcoming Saturday, and we will have other coverage as well of the regional semifinals with news articles, pictures, and more videos as well. So thank you for watching this video extra, and we'll see you next time.